What's up, YouTube? Got another short video for you guys. This one's a banger right here. I don't know if anybody else heard about this, but I wanted to see what the heck is going on in the state joint. Now we know in the feds, the Northerners and the Bulldogs are programming together. We know that. We heard that before. Now I'm hearing that the Northerners, um, the OGs, are reaching out to the Bulldogs, and I guess to make peace or come to an agreement or something where they can all walk the same yards with no violence. Now it can go two ways. It could be a setup to get the dogs out there to program and then move on them, or they can be listening to the big homeboy from up north that's in the feds and prepare for whatever may happen. So if they bring the Bulldogs back into the inn, then that's more manpower. Now supposedly, well, as far as I know, the North and the South are still getting along, even though that incident happened in Pelican Bay. So who knows how strong their relationship is? Is it stronger than what we think, or is somebody following under somebody's agenda? I doubt it. And it's kind of weird that this thing happened in Pelican Bay and no instant repercussions has happened. And now I'm hearing that they're reaching out to the Bulldogs. Now this is people that's up there in the organization. The big homies from up north, put it that way, the OGs. Now, are they preparing for something that we don't know about, that nobody sees coming? And they want to pull the Bulldogs back in for extra strength? Could be. Or are they just tired of warring? Most of the guys in the prison now, they weren't even around when the split happened. They don't know the history. They don't know that the Bulldogs or Fresno used to be from the north. Well, geologically, they're still from the north, but as far as the prison politics or prison groups go, they used to be Norteños, and a lot of youngsters don't know that. When I was young, I was a Norteño. This was mid '80s, early '80s. A lot of people in prison now weren't even born, so they don't know what happened. They're fighting a war that they had nothing to do with, and either somebody's realizing that and wants to reach out and give them a break or pull them back in or something. I'm thinking that it's for manpower. Something is being prepared to kick off. And maybe nobody sees it, but it's there. It's there. So I wanted to see if anybody else heard about it. Like I said, in the feds, they're programming together. So who knows? And I was listening to another video where they were reading a filter that came out, and when the person that put out the filter mentioned the enemies of the North, they didn't mention the Bulldogs. They mentioned some other names that I'm not going to say because out of respect, I'm not going to say, but they didn't mention the Bulldogs in the list of enemies. So it got me thinking for a minute as to why. I already had heard this few days ago, but I wanted to talk to some other people, um, and see if it was true. I was talking to some old homeboys of mine, some dogs that are kind of retired, but they're still in the mix. They're just getting old. And I want to see if they heard anything about it. And they have. I asked them what were their thoughts. And their thoughts were, we've always been from the north. And that's the same way I felt. That's the same way I feel. Is no matter what anybody says, is Fresno's always going to be north. Now, they might not be under the same umbrella, but as far as people my age, we all know the history. You know, when I first started, you know, my career, I started with the north. The separation happened, and I went with my homies, just like everybody else. But we all knew that we were always going to be from the north. And when the Bulldogs first started, I was told by one of my older homeboys. Actually, he was an OG from the north. I guess he was one of the main main individuals involved in the separation. Matter of fact, his brother was Crackers. Put it that way. Rest in peace. He told me that no matter what happens in the future or then, that Fresno's always going to be from the north. We're just not under the same umbrella. So now I'm hearing this, and it's possible. It can happen. You know, it just needs to take a couple of people to start communicating. But I'm wondering, what is the reason? And what I mentioned is, are they planning on something and trying to boost up the manpower? Or are they just tired of the war? Me, myself, I thought it would end a long time ago. Once the people my age started to get out of the mix, I thought someone would kind of, how you say it, reunite the dogs with the north. Now, like I said about the history, these youngsters, they go by what they're taught. And same with the north. If they're taught to hate people from Fresno, or vice versa, people from Fresno are taught to hate people from up north, then that's how they're going to grow up. That's how they're going to enter the system. And as long as everyone really thinks about it, and these youngsters start to realize that Fresno's always going to be from the north. Now, it wasn't a coincidence that they kept flying the color red. It wasn't because of Fresno State. I'll tell you that. That's not why. But that's the reason why they kept flying the color red, was because we knew back then that we were always going to be from the north, no matter how it played out. That's where we stood. Now we didn't go around saying we're Norteños. In the beginning, it was Bulldogs, Norte, Fresno Bulldogs, Norteño. You know, Fresno X4. Only thing that was different is Fresno stopped using the XIV. Now I can't tell you exactly when they stopped using X4. I don't know when that actually happened, but I know we stopped using the XIV. The XIV was for them, and the X4 was for us. So that right there told us that we were going to always be from the north, and the color red came with it. It was kind of weird because when that happened, people would wear both colors, red and blue. Cowboy fans, especially Cowboy fans, they're always going to have blue, but they're Bulldogs, and people were getting it mixed up. When that Bulldog Nation thing came around, people got it mixed up, thinking Fresno was going to convert to South, and it wasn't like that. It was just we felt we can wear any color we wanted, and the main color was always going to be red. So I wanted to put this out. Maybe someone has more information or someone heard about it. I know a lot of people, they know what's going on in prison more than I do. Like I said, I don't have no sources. I just have people that I talk to, normal everyday, you know, conversation. So when I heard about this, I had to look into it a little bit more because I already knew it's going on in the feds. I didn't think it would happen in the state. Now that the hostilities is in effect and the North and the South are getting along, because that's my other question. How is the South going to feel about it? You know, supposedly it was a statewide green light because a Bulldog rushed a OG from the South. So if the North does try to pull them back in, or if it does happen, how is the South going to take it? Is that going to be the reason why a war kicks off because of that, or what? I'm just curious, and if anyone has any insight on it, you know, comment. This is interesting. Like I said, the people that I talk to, my age, maybe a little older, said, yeah, it is happening. It has happened. Someone from the North, an OG from the North, is reaching out. And of course, no decision has been made because there's got to be some guidelines. Fresno was established, the Bulldogs were established because they didn't want to follow no orders. And nobody's going to dictate the Bulldog program. So in order for this to happen, some kind of agreement has to, come agreed upon both sides. So anybody out there has heard anything, please, comment. This caught me way off guard. The timing is not right to me. And with the incident in Pelican Bay and the OG from up north in the feds, sending these filters out, wanting the Northerners to hold their house down. I'll just put it that way. This is kind of interesting. I'm thinking it's for manpower. I don't think it's for peace. If it's for peace, it's cool. Like I said, we're always going to be from the North. And a lot of youngsters, they don't know that. They don't know. They'll probably never acknowledge it. But as far as the dudes my age, I know that. They know that. That's why a lot of them never covered up their tattoos. That's why I never covered up my F-14. Now if I really felt that Fresno wasn't part of the North, I would have covered mine up. But it's not the case. There's a lot of dudes out there, my age, maybe a little older, a little younger, that still got their birds on them. Never covered them up. I still see them now. Never covered up. 14, never covered up. X4, never covered up. Even some with XIV, never covered it up. And I'm sure the youngsters noticed that. And they probably wonder why they never covered it up. And I've been asked before, how come I never covered mine up? And I told them straight out, because that's part of my history. That's part of me. I'm always going to be from the North. And no one can ever move that. Nobody can ever move the streets that I walked on. That's always there. It's always going to be on um, northern dirt. So with that being said, if anybody heard anything, hit the like, subscribe, comment, fill me in. Like I said, I've been busy. I'm almost done doing what I got to do. Um, Now COVID has invaded my household. You know, my kids, my grandson, my older boys, my wife. I think she might, but yeah, they got COVID. And now we didn't get the vaccine. We don't play that shit. We're not no guinea pigs. You know, so my mind's kind of been on that, cleaning everything up and keeping the virus at bay from me. At least somebody's got to take care of everybody else. But once again, I'm gonna thank my subscribers. I picked up a few more. I really appreciate you taking your time out to listen to my stories. Now I really haven't, put too many out. I don't make a video every day like some people. Like I said, I got a 9 to 5, and now with my family sick, it's like 24 hours. I'm on duty 24 hours. But I want to appreciate you. Share these videos. Trying to boost up my subscribers some more. Maybe someday it'll pay off. Hopefully. I lost my job. I'll tell you guys that story later. Lost my job over some bullshit. But I got my job. What I've been doing before I went under the payroll, I was self-employed. So I went back starting to do that, my own thing. But with that being said, hope everybody's in good health. Hope your family's in good health. Hope your kids are safe. I'll get at you guys later. If anybody heard anything about it, let me know or comment. I'm curious what's really going on. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.